So I had a really nice, deep talk with my friend from Iceland, my brother, my conscious brother. Yeah, ever since he is in Iceland, his home country, which doesn't feel like his home country at all anymore. And he was talking about the field. Yeah, the field. Uh, Not his words, but yeah, the field is like sucking him in or influencing him or whatever. And at some point, I was like, okay, you do realize all of these are just stories, right? It's just the stories we tell ourselves. And because, yeah, the stories, it makes sense, right? If I imagine myself now back in the Netherlands and then, having this gray blanket, this artificial gray blanket, you know, blocking the sun every single day, and then all the people are stressed and politics and bullshit. Yeah, I can totally relate to him being in a country where he doesn't want to be. But that's the thing with these stories. Yeah, I call it stories. You could also call it programming or convictions or the reality you believe in. Because if you realize you're an you're an infinite being, conscious, pure consciousness, just being aware of all of it, then you immediately realize, yeah, so not only am I not physical, but I'm also not energetic. Because we sometimes believe, yeah, in the interaction with other people, there's energy, exchange. Yeah, so if I'm surrounded by low vibrational people, they suck the energy out of me, and yeah, these are stories, what I call stories. And of course, at some point, you will be like, yeah, but if I drop it all, then what? Yeah, then what? I clearly noticed in my past, I think 3 videos, there was this, yeah, I was gonna say foul mood, but that's no. There was this annoyance gnawing on me somewhere, somehow. His whole energy, his whole being shifted because first, I use the word stories, and he uses different language, different wording. So I was talking here stories, he was talking blah blah blah, and then slowly we came together. And yeah, so at some point he was like, yeah, I can, I can sense it what you're pointing at, because while talking in the first, let's say, 20 minutes, he was repeating the story. He was in the story, creating his own history, his story. And yeah, he knows these pointers. I mean, I know him from the Bentino community. He is also, very aware of the systems, how it all functions, how it actually works. Yeah, it's not for him. It's not just knowledge. No, he's also coming from lived experience, lived awareness. But when I started pointing at it, using the word stories, first there was like a little bit, and then, yeah, just I I I, I became a little bit more present and solid in this, in the awareness of awareness. I really embodied it, and then, yeah, he could sense this, because before we were talking, we both felt, because I could clearly feel his energy, his story, his system. The nut. You know that feeling when you feel like there's a nut in your stomach, or a stone, as we call it in Dutch. It's heavy. And yeah, then I went into this presence mode, and then he could sense that, and he relaxed into it, and then, yeah, yeah, there was silence, long silences, and for a brief moment because this is what the ego mind does. It wants to survive. So as the moment we went into silent mode, in present mode, the ego mind was like, but where am I now? Where are we? Do you still see me? Am I still alive? Am I? It's like, sometimes it's like scared. I've seen people doing and after these kind of retreats, even with ayahuasca sessions, they lose their mind, and that's not a bad thing. But if you've been identified with your personality, with your ego mind, all of your life, and suddenly it's like gone, you can it can be feel it can feel quite daunting, like, so because you have nothing to hold on anymore. So we went into silence mode, and then the ego mind coming up with another story, and immediately he realized it. So he said, "Okay, let's not go into that." And then another story, let's not go into that. He was catching himself. He was catching his, what one would call, the lower self, the the self that is in pure survival mode. And I'm not claiming you have to get rid of it. No, I'm actually claiming. No, I'm not claiming. I live by the notion that we are integrating our higher self into our lower self. To become fully human, the way I see it, I have to accept all of me. All of me. I have to accept all of me. Yeah. It's not one way or the other. No, it's all at the same time. And then you can relax, lean back. I mean, I noticed the annoyance being there for a couple of days, The moment I relaxed into it, into presence, silence, slowed down, just observed it, then I noticed, there's a bit of loneliness. There is this quiet sensation of loneliness. It's there, it's not really, uh, in the front. It's in the back. It's there somewhere. I can sense it. And then slowly I could embrace it. Okay. Hello, loneliness. How are you? Feeling lonely? I feel so lonely. I feel so lonely. I feel so low. Yeah, it might be the lower self feeling lonely, and the higher self saying, "Hi, how are you? Apa kabar?" It's Indonesian. How are you doing? What's happening? Yeah, we aware people. Maybe you relate to the idea of being aware, awake. So we aware people, we're scattered thinly across the planet. And I could really sense he needs to be in Iceland right now, like I need to be in Bali right now. And he said, "Yeah, man, I wish I could switch roles." Well, actually, I would love to visit Iceland. But yeah, the difference is that Iceland is not my home country, so there's not all these old programs coming to surface. If I were in the Netherlands, yeah, these old programs, one might say they're like embedded in our DNA, which I don't believe. But yeah, these programs are deeply rooted in our systems. And yeah, once again, we don't have to get rid of them. No, we just have to notice them. As soon as you notice them, they kind of lose their power over you, their control over you. And with me, usually, when I notice like the loneliness, it immediately dissolves. Not that that was my goal or my purpose to have it dissolve. No, once it's seen, it can relax us also. Like, okay, he noticed me. Yeah, you're also part of me. In my in my 10-year depression period, I was so lonely. Wow, that was beautiful and horrible at the same time. A horrible experience, but beautiful. And you know, these moments where the girl behind the counter in the supermarket smiled at me and wished me well. And yeah, then I had like a good week because I felt like, someone noticing me, someone smiling, being kind. So be kind to yourself. Yeah, be gentle. Okay. See ya.